In Japanese folklore, one of the three great yokai is known for his extraordinarily handsome appearance, beneath which lies extreme brutality. Possessing immense strength, he commands the Oni and is revered as the dreaded king of the Oni. There are dozens of versions regarding his origin story. He is none other than Shuten Doji, one of the three great yokai of Japan. Today, in this video, we will delve into the story of this most handsome yokai. Shuten Doji, a legendary demon king from ancient Japanese mythology, was the leader of Oni during the Heian period. He went by many names, with his original name believed to be Gedo-Maru. However, due to his infamous love for sake, he became known as Shuten Doji, meaning the sake-drinking child. According to accounts in novels like Otogi Joshi, Shuten Doji is depicted with two distinct appearances, a handsome young man and a hideous demon. In his human form, Shuten Doji is charming and attractive, using his appearance to deceive over 100 young women. However, when revealing his demonic form, Shuten Doji transforms into a fearsome red-faced ogre capable of spewing fire. He possesses a ferocious and menacing visage, with disheveled hair, horns protruding from his head, and a massive body covered in fiery red skin. Shuten Doji, in addition to his insatiable thirst for alcohol, also craved the blood of young women, particularly those who were virgins. He would use his handsome appearance to deceive naive young girls, luring them back to his dark castle on Mount Oi. Once there, he would brutally murder these women, drinking their blood and consuming their organs raw in a gruesome manner. Shuten Doji's extreme cruelty earned him the titles of Demon King and Virgin Killer, making him one of Japan's legendary three great yokai, alongside the white-faced golden-haired nine-tailed fox and the Great Tengu. If you're interested in learning more about the stories of these legendary Japanese yokai, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. This way, you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you. Although there are many versions of Shuten Doji's origin story, a common element in each version is that he was not born as an Oni. Before becoming the king of the Oni, he was a human being. In one version of the story, it is said that Shuten Doji was a monk in training at Byakugo-ji in Yamato province. He would join the other monks in chanting and meditation every day. During this time, there was a severe famine, and everyone was suffering from hunger, especially the monks whose lives were already difficult. Some of them even perished due to starvation. Shuten Doji witnessed his fellow practitioners collapsing before him due to hunger, and he felt deeply saddened yet powerless to help them. One day, while meditating in a mountain valley, Shuten Doji witnessed a group of people bringing a cartload of corpses into the valley. These corpses were of those who had starved to death. The group simply found a spot and discarded the bodies without any intention of proper burial or care. Seeing this scene sparked an idea in Shuten Doji's mind. He realized that these corpses were just meat. Aren't those corpses just meat? And isn't meat food? These deceased individuals were now returning to the cycle of nature as fertilizer. What truly mattered, Shuten Doji concluded, was the living. So Shuten Doji made a bold decision. He quietly brought back the meat from those corpses to the temple and distributed it among the hungry monks. The monks, grateful for the food, didn't question where the meat came from and enjoyed their meals. They greatly appreciated Shuten Doji's efforts. From that day on, Shuten Doji would bring back meat from the mountains regularly, ensuring that no monk would starve to death again. However, the truth eventually came to light. The monks discovered that Shuten Doji had been feeding them meat from corpses. Instead of gratitude, the monks turned hostile towards him. They started beating him and hurling insults, accusing him of being a demon rather than a human. The swift shift from praise to condemnation left Shuten Doji bewildered. He couldn't understand what he had done wrong. Was saving lives also a sin? The enraged monks then threw Shuten Doji into the same mountain filled with corpses. From that day on, the temple lost a young monk dedicated to chanting and meditation, while the mountain gained a demon who consumed human flesh. There is also another fascinating version that explains how Shuten Doji transformed from a boy into the king of the Oni. According to this story, there was a young boy with supernatural powers and exceptional intelligence for his age. Due to his incredible abilities and wisdom, people around him began to call him the demon's child, and he gradually became very antisocial and harbored resentment towards others. It is said that the boy's mother was a human woman, and his father was the infamous Great Yokai Yamate no Orochi. If you're interested in learning more about the story of Yamate no Orochi, known as the strongest yokai, please leave a comment below. At the age of 6, even his own mother abandoned him. Left as an orphan, he became an apprentice monk at Mountain High in Kyoto. Among these young apprentices, he was the strongest, smartest, and most handsome. His exceptional looks made him the object of admiration for girls in the village, which fueled jealousy among the other monks who began to ostracize him. The boy harbored resentment towards them as a result. His studies suffered, and he got into fights. He also developed a drinking problem, which was forbidden for monks. However, he could outdrink anyone willing to sit down with him. Because of his love for alcohol, he became known as Shuten Doji, the Little Drunkard. One night during a temple festival, Shuten Doji arrived very drunk. He wore an Oni mask and amused himself by playing pranks on his fellow monks, jumping out from the darkness to scare them. Later that night, when he tried to remove the mask, he found it wouldn't come off. It had somehow fused with his body. Ashamed and frightened, scolded by his masters for his drunken behavior, he fled into the mountains to avoid further human interaction, viewing them as weak, foolish, and hypocritical. For many years, he lived on the outskirts of Kyoto, stealing food and alcohol from villagers and consuming large amounts of liquor. His thieving ways eventually attracted bands of thieves and criminals who faithfully followed him, forming the foundation of his gang. During his exile, Shuten Doji's power and knowledge continued to grow. He mastered dark and mysterious magic, which he then taught to his gang of thugs. Along the way, he encountered another demon child like himself named Hyakki Doji, who became his chief servant. Over time, Shuten Doji and his gang underwent a transformation, gradually becoming Oni themselves. Eventually, he established a whole clan of Oni and yokai thugs who roamed the highways, terrorizing the people of Kyoto in their drunken rage. Shuten Doji and his gang settled on Mount Oi, where they inhabited a dark castle and plotted to conquer the capital and rule as emperor. Shuten Doji and his gang rampaged through Kyoto, capturing noble virgins and consuming their blood and organs raw. The emperor, fed up with these abductions escalating from common women to nobles, finally could not tolerate it any longer. He dispatched Minamoto no Yorimitsu to defeat Shuten Doji. Onmyoji Abeno Seimei instructed Minamoto no Yorimitsu to first visit 3 shrines for blessings. Following this guidance, Minamoto no Yorimitsu received 2 sacred treasures from the gods: the demon-subduing poison sake and the star-reflecting robe. The demon-subduing poison sake appeared as ordinary sake to humans, but any yokai who drank it would become completely intoxicated and lose consciousness. The star-reflecting robe served to protect and seal Shuten Doji. Shuten Doji, already fond of alcohol, was tricked by Minamoto no Yorimitsu into drinking the demon-subduing poison sake along with his yokai followers. They became heavily intoxicated and lost consciousness. Taking advantage of this, Minamoto no Yorimitsu proceeded to sever Shuten Doji's limbs and decapitate him. However, even after being dismembered, Shuten Doji's head continued to bite at Minamoto no Yorimitsu. Protected by the star-reflecting robe, Minamoto no Yorimitsu remained unharmed. He used the power of the robe to seal Shuten Doji, putting an end to his reign of terror. Thus, the atrocities committed by Shuten Doji were finally brought to an end. The sword used by Minamoto no Yorimitsu to sever the head of the demon king Shuten Doji was named Dojikiri Yasutsuna and is now designated a national treasure, housed at the Tokyo National Museum. The demon-subduing poison sake that Minamoto no Yorimitsu used to intoxicate Shuten Doji is said to be kept at Nariaiji Temple in Kyoto. As for the star-reflecting robe, it remains securely sealed and hidden away. Whether Shuten Doji was merely a legend or a historical figure, he has left behind a captivating chapter in stories and folklore, delighting and captivating later generations with tales of his exploits. If you enjoy my channel, please help by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you next time.